2022 has been a complete disaster, but is the worst over, or will we see a Bitcoin plunge? Predicting the future of cryptocurrencies is insanely complex. We need charts, algorithms, and a full deck of medieval tarot cards just to make sense of this madness. No one even knows what's going to happen, so why even bother guessing? Well, I sure as want to know whether things will get better or worse before the end of the year. But how can I do this? We're going to take predictions, history, ruthless new legislation, future technology, and one thing we really don't want right now, before building a model on how the next few months will shape up. In order to measure the effect of each factor, we'll use the patent-pending crypto meter, or COM for short. She's never failed me before. Mainly because it just got delivered an hour ago. Created by my team of young, hungry data scientists studying at some of the best universities in East Germany, Yugoslavia, and the USSR. Cold War era design has stood the test of time, I guess. So will it work? I mean, come on. Boris and Vlad promised me that this is even safer than their last big design project. All right, we need to start by feeding it some predictions. Yeah, people are all over the place right now. It's insane. But I can see some patterns. A majority of people think prices will drop further, perhaps with some short-lived climbs, before prices start to rise again towards the end of the year. 2023 could be the year that Bitcoin finally reaches its true glory. But let's not bring out the champagne and vatrushkas just yet. Or at all, depending on what vatrushkas actually are. The scientists were talking about them and I just wanted to sound cool, so I just said it. But back to the question. Does the idea of 2022 bad, 2023 good stack up? There aren't many optimistic predictions for the rest of the year. I think people have kind of just accepted that 2022 is a write-off, a nosedive into the depths of despair. But does that mean it's precisely the best time to buy because no one wants it? It's not like the past when people had near future predictions of 100,000 or $1 million Bitcoin. What we need to do is keep digging. What can history tell us to ease our minds or make us terrified? Hopefully the former. One theory is that this crypto winter is different from the one we saw in 2018. That was 18 months of cold, dark nightmares, largely fueled by fears of regulations following an unprecedented boom that carried Bitcoin to nearly $20,000. This winter could be shorter for a few key reasons. Surfshark, they're today's sponsor, and everything you need to know is in the name. Surf, like surf the web, and shark, like predator. With Surfshark, you can be an online predator. Okay guys, I need to be real with you. This is a test ad. These guys said if your first ad does well, we'll do more. And now I'm wondering how my online predator joke's gonna go over at Surfshark headquarters.
Hi, I'm Jared the Subway Guy, and this is my story.
Federal and state authorities have raided the Indiana home of the Subway restaurant spokesperson, Jarrett Fogel.
So if you need a VPN, get Surfshark. The link down below with promo code maxmaher gives you 83% off and 3 months free. That will not only let you watch UK Netflix, which unlocks shows like The Office and Rick and Morty for free, but it also means they're forced to let me do more of these ads. There's far more adoption now, more people rooting for crypto. And that's a big thing. It's a sign that the industry's not going away. The domino effect of collapsing companies like Luna and Celsius has made the inevitable happen much more quickly. Most people realize that sensible laws are needed in this space, and they're on their way, as we'll see in a moment. In general, it feels more sustainable. Maybe not right now, but like it is getting more sustainable. In 2018, it was still a pretty niche thing. I don't see too many people predicting that the crypto depression lasts into 2023 or 2024. But that's the thing about winter. No matter what, it feels like a decade until the sun finally comes out and your face begins to thaw. What was that?
Max, talk about regulations.
The thing's telling me what to do now? Is this the first case of true sentient AI?
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Never mind. But I guess it is time to look at upcoming regulations. I tried to imagine a legal bomb landing in our laps in 2022. The biggest fear seems to be new regulations that somehow put a screeching stop to progress within the space. I mean, even a new law that's ultimately good for crypto could potentially lead to a downturn while the market reacts to it. And there is legislation in the pipeline. The International Organization of Securities Commissions sounds like a serious bunch of folk, and they're building a framework on the crypto sector. Yep, people aren't gonna like that. But the recommendations aren't due until the end of 2023, so it's not a huge worry just yet. Hey, I think we need to recalibrate that thing's bobbins. Anyways, one country's ahead of the rest in crypto laws, South Africa. They have tough new laws in the pipeline for 2023 to classify Bitcoin as a financial asset. This will mean it's not seen as a currency, and using it that way would kind of be discouraged. Separately, Bitcoin ETF legislation is on the way, but it could take up to 2 years. Bitcoin futures ETFs have been approved, but spot Bitcoin ETFs haven't. A spot ETF is one that would actually hold real Bitcoin, meaning it could actually help boost the market by giving more people more exposure to Bitcoin. Further, the Bank of England thinks it's time for crypto regulation. The European Union has thrown their hat in the ring by creating new laws to control what they call the Wild West of crypto. Original name. But this is probably going to be the first set of major crypto laws. They're covering a ton of things in it, including stablecoins needing to hold larger reserves to remain legal. Back in the US, stablecoins are also under a microscope, and lawmakers are trying to force through a new bill. This is certainly overdue, but will it stifle the sector or help it grow? In the long run, I think it'll help, and that's probably what matters most. Then there's the Financial Stability Board, and you know what? I could go on and on about this, but the good news is that there's no new major laws planned for 2022, and I fed all that information into the crypto meter. What do I know? It's probably doing some insanely complex computation.
Haha.
Crypto regulations are a weird topic. If the price keeps dropping, we'll hear more about these regulations, and that'll make people more nervous, forcing the price down even further. But if we see a crypto recovery, you'll see less talk of regulations until the next crash. So legislation on its own isn't such a big factor right now, but this will change in 2023 as those new laws start to take effect in the real world. For now, it's just a part of the sector's overall momentum or feel-good factor. Is it okay if I talk about the forks now, buddy?
Да, но быстро.
Forks, they can have a big effect on a cryptocurrency's price. This is a major software update that splits the currency's network into two. It can be dramatic and carries the danger of some stuff going wrong. You might remember that Bitcoin splitting off into multiple coins is one of the things that made the last crypto winter worse. The arrival of Bitcoin SV and Bitcoin Cash made it look like a divided community. It made many people think their coins could just be removed or changed without notice. So while there's nothing major to worry about, I wouldn't totally rule out fork-related drama. Hey, помогите меня, пожалуйста. I'll handle this prediction without the machine, I think. No major storms are expected, but there may be some dark clouds hiding over the horizon. But do you know what's not good right now? Pretty much everything else in the economy. And here's the thing, the last year has seen the link between cryptos and the mainstream financial market grow stronger and stronger. So if the economy in general continues like it is or gets worse, then prices could plunge in crypto. Hold on, are things really that bad? It kind of looks like it. Inflation is cutting deep. Some say a global economic winter is headed our way, but there are rays of sunshine as well. Shoppers are still spending money, and wage increases have been leveling off, which apparently is a good thing. Also, Jennifer Lopez married Ben Affleck again, which might not affect the economy, but better safe than sorry. I don't know if the worst is past or not, and the truth is, no one does. The 2008 recession dragged on, and it eventually took a series of measures to bring things under control. We can't point to a single moment or decision that turned the tide, and it will be the same this time as well. We won't look back and go, oh look, the crypto winter ended when Bitcoin hit $25,000, or when inflation went under 5%, or even when J-Lo and Ben got married for the third time. Instead, we're looking for a series of signs that the world is headed back in the right direction. It's all about momentum and confidence building, baby. And that'll happen, but eventually. There's just one thing we really don't want right now. Apart from that, what we don't want is another major crypto collapse. We're teetering right now, and we need time to pass for investors to gain confidence again. The bear market has done what they do best, flush out the weak and the risky. Maybe all the runs have been flushed out by now, but there's always a chance that a few are still there floating around the deep end, trying desperately not to go underwater. And that's the major issue right now, uncertainty. We just don't know. There are too many factors to take into account for anyone to tell you anything for certain. But what I can tell you is my general impression of what I think the future has in store for us. If I were a betting man, I'd say we're looking at a few months of boring. People need to rest from their losses. They need to go on a trip and forget about their UST and Celsius holdings for a while. They need to forget about crypto. We hold a grudge as a species. And then finally, after some time, we'll see a catalyst, a coin popping off or some big happy news. This gets some people back in the game, builds more trust, and increases prices further. That creates a positive feedback loop, eventually taking things from despair to normal and eventually boom time again. The longer we can go without another cataclysmic event, the sooner this will happen. But things will be boring before they get better.